Section 1 of Module 3 will be reviewing the housing assessment, the individual service plan, and the client retention template. These templates can be viewed in the link provided right below this video. Please keep in mind that the templates are just samples to help guide your work as a housing specialist. You should modify the form to gather specific data required by your local homeless management information system or any specific data required by your agency. Let's take a closer look at some of these templates. The Housing Assessment Template is designed to collect information from clients regarding their past and current living situation in order to identify and address barriers to housing stability. Understanding a client's housing history is essential to ensure short and long-term success of the housing search and placement process. Housing specialists can use this form to guide their discussion with clients to ensure that they fully understand a client's barriers and need for housing services. It is important to keep in mind that this form is not designed to be a comprehensive intake form. It does not include questions related to health, mental health, or substance abuse. It is assumed that the client has already gone through a more extensive intake and assessment process and will only be referred to you when deemed housing ready. Now that we reviewed the housing assessment, let's look at the individual service plan. Based on the information gathered during the intake and housing assessment, a housing specialist should then work closely with clients to develop an individual service plan. The service plan should address the specific issues that you gathered from the intake process and begin to identify the specific steps that must be taken to move them towards the goal of independent living. The plan should include goals, strategies to achieve the goals, targeted dates for completion, and dates goals are achieved. A key element to take into account here is that the plan should be developed in collaboration with the client to increase the likelihood of success and follow-through. It's also important to be as detailed and clear as possible when developing the individual service plan to ensure that the client is clear about what their expectations are, but also in case a colleague should need to take over your case, they can pick up right where you left off. Once the plan has been developed, the housing specialist will have to conduct a series of follow-ups with the clients to ensure that the goals and objectives developed are being met. The Client Retention Interview Template is a useful tool to conduct follow-up interviews with clients. It can be done at predetermined intervals like 3, 6, and 9 months or up to a year. The retention interview can be conducted during periodic home visits in order to provide the case manager with an opportunity to observe the client in their own environment and identify any issues. While it is expected that housing specialists conduct frequent check-ins with clients, the retention interview provides the case manager with an opportunity for an in-depth review of a client's status following their placement into permanent housing. For example, the housing specialist may discover that the client has become eligible for a service that they may not have been previously. You have just completed Section 1 of Module 3. Complete the short activity below to reinforce the key concepts that we have just presented before moving on to Section 2.